The Wind Ensemble concludes this evening's performance with Robert W. Smith's Inferno. To truly understand this piece and its programmatic intricacies, we must first understand the story of the Inferno. The Divine Comedy is a four-movement work based on the literary classic of the same name. The Inferno is the first of four movements in the Divine Comedy. The main character, Dante, has a vision of hell that consists of 9 concentric circles divided into 4 categories of sin. The principal theme behind the literary work is the concept of symbolic retribution. In other words, man's eternal damnation in hell is directly correlated to the character and the weight of his sins on earth. Like Dante's Inferno, the movement is divided into 4 sections. The opening melodic statement in the oboe represents the sins of incontinence. As Dante finishes his relatively short journey through the sections of the Inferno, he is confronted with the wall of Dis, or the gate into hell. The next section is structured around the sins of violence, with its incredibly intense storms and fiery sands. The crimes of ordinary fraud follow the violent sinners. The composer used the sin of hypocrisy as visual imagery in the formation of this section of the musical work. Dante describes the hypocrites as they file endlessly in a circle, clothed in coats of lead, which represent the weight of hypocrisy on earth. The final section of the Inferno features the sin of treacherous fraud. As Dante enters this circle of hell, he hears the dreadful blast of a bugle. Dante is lowered into the last section of hell by giants who are constantly pelted with bolts of thunder. As their journey nears the end, they are confronted with the sight of Lucifer, whose 3 mouths are eternally rending Judas, Brutus, and Cassius. Dante climbs down the flanks of Lucifer, exiting to the other hemisphere and leaving the fiery world of the Inferno behind. Soloists include Sebastian Beamy, Megan Taylor, Gordy Sherman, Ashley Grignani, and Sienna Graves. Ladies and gentlemen, the Inferno.